Daf Yomi, Tractate of Metzia, page 37b. Top of the page, the words Tzavach, Tzovach, Man de Amar, etc. Rav Matana, from previous Daf, we were talking about, the Gemara asked, the thief, what does he claim in response? Regard to stolen money, the other person, the thief, what does he claim in response? Rav says the other person is silent, as he does not know to whom he owes the money. Rav Matana said that Rav says the other person. Okay, we're at top of 37b right now. The other person screams and says to each of the claimants, I do not recognize you, and I find no basis for your claim. The Gemara comments, the one who says that the other person screams holds that he need not return the money to each of them if he is screaming that he does not accept their claims. But a reaction of silence is tantamount to admission that the demands of the claimants are legitimate. And the one who says that the other is silent holds that the silence here is not tantamount to admission. As the robber could say to him, the fact that I was silent to each and every one of the claimants is because I said perhaps this is he, the robbery victim, but I do not admit that I owe money to more than one person. The master said the robber places the stolen item between them and withdraws from them. The Gemara challenges, and all of them take it and go, possibly resulting in the robbery victim losing his property. But doesn't Rabbi Abba Bar Zavda say that Rav says concerning found items, in any case of uncertainty whether the placement of a found item was deliberate, the finder may not take the item ab initio, and if he took it, he should not return it to one who claims ownership without conclusive proof. Here too, the robber should keep the money until one of the claimants provides conclusive proof that the money is his. Rav Sofer says the brisa means and the robber should place it in his possession or before the court. Abaye said to Rava, in disputing Rabbi Tarfon's opinion with regard to one who robbed money from one of 5 people, did Rabbi Akiva say this is not the way to spare him from transgression? He is not considered to have returned the stolen item until he pays the value of the stolen item to each and every one of the 5. Apparently, in his opinion, in cases of uncertainty, we expropriate property and return it to those claiming it. And we do not say establish the money in the possession of its owner. The Gemara raises a contradiction from a Mishnah in Bava Batra 158b. A house collapsed on a person and on his mother, and it is unclear which of them died first. The son's heirs say the mother died first, and her property was inherited by her son, who then died, and therefore the heirs of the son inherit the property of both. And the mother's heirs say the son died first, and therefore the mother's heirs should inherit all the property. In this case, both these Tanaim Beit Shammai and those Tanaim Beit Hillel agree that they should divide the disputed property, although they disagree in similar cases. Rabbi Akiva said, I concede in this case that the property retains its previous ownership status. Apparently Rabbi Akiva himself holds that property is not removed from one's possession in cases of uncertainty. Rava said to Abaye, there in the case where the house collapsed, It is where there is an uncertain claim, and an uncertain claim, as neither party knows what transpired. By contrast, in a case where one robbed money from one of five people, it is a case where there is a certain claim and an uncertain claim. As the robber does not know from whom he robbed the money, but the victim's claims are based on certainty. The Gemara challenges, but in the Mishnah here, where one said to two people, I robbed one of you of 100 dinars, but I do not know from which of you I took the money, it is a case where there is an uncertain claim and an uncertain claim and an uncertain claim, and it is taught he gives 100 dinars to this person and 100 dinars to that person. The Gemara asks, and from where is it known that the Mishnah here is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Akiva? The Gemara answers, this is known as it is taught in a Braita concerning the halacha taught in that Mishnah. Rabbi Tarfon concedes that in a case where one says to two people, I robbed one of the two of you of 100 dinars, and I do not know from which of you I robbed the money. The robber gives 100 dinars to each of them. To whom does Rabbi Tarfon concede? Is it not to Rabbi Akiva, who is his equal disputant? Bar Plukta. The Gemara asks, and from where is it known that in the Mishnah it is a case where there is an uncertain claim, and an uncertain claim, perhaps the victims are certain that they were robbed? The Gemara answers, this is unlikely for several reasons. One, it is not taught in the Mishnah that they demand payment from him, and furthermore, didn't Rav Chia teach in a Braita that the Mishnah is referring to a case where this party says, I do not know, and that party says, I do not know, indicating that these are uncertain claims? The Gemara resolves the contradiction between the statements of Rabbi Akiva. Didn't we establish the Mishnah as referring to a case in which the robber is coming to fulfill his obligation to heaven? Therefore, the robber gives 100 dinars to each, although he has no legal obligation to do so, as they made uncertain claims. Ravina said to Rav Ashi, and did Rava say that in every case where the deposits are given in two separate bundles, that the bailee should have been discerning with regard to the identity of the ones giving him the deposits? But didn't Rava say, and some say that it was Rav Papa who said, everyone concedes in the case of two people who deposit animals with a shepherd, that if each claims that his deposit included a greater number of animals than that of the other, the shepherd places his animals among them and leaves. Vashi says, Ravina, there is referring to a case where the shepherds deposit animals and the shepherd's flock without his knowledge. Clearly, there is no explanation for the shepherd, no explanation that the shepherd will discern how many animals belong to each party. The Mishnah teaches, and likewise in the case of two people who deposit two vessels, one worth 100 and one worth 1,000, dinars, and each one of the claimants claims that the expensive vessel is his, the bailee gives a small vessel to one of them, and from the proceeds of the sale of the large vessel he gives the value of the small vessel to the other, and the rest of the money is placed in a safe place until Elijah comes. The Gemara comments, and it is necessary for the Tana to cite both the case of the money and the case of the vessels. The reason is that the Tana had taught us this first case with regard to money alone, which would conclude that it is, in this case, the rabbis say that each party receives 100 dinars, and 100 dinars is kept in a safe place, because this is in this case there's no loss, but in that case of the vessels where there is a loss of a large vessel, it must be it must be broken or sold to pay the value of the small vessel to the party. Say that they concede to Rabbi Yossi that both vessels are kept in a safe place, and had the dispute been stated only in the case of vessels, one would conclude that it is in that case that Rabbi Yossi said that both vessels are kept in a safe place. But in this case of money, see that he concedes the rabbis, therefore it is necessary to cite both cases.